just bought this game, now you're telling me it's dead, that's really lame. What I do with all these cards, maybe sell them at a sale in my yard. They just revealed a hero, I thought the game was dead. Seems people were just panicked, it's doing fine instead. I'm glad I didn't sell my cards, still have them in a box. I think it's time to play a game, you guys can go kick rocks. What the hell, I just bought this game. It's a lot, but you said it's dead, that's lame. I think to celebrate, I'll get a game in now. Everybody needs to chill, holy cow. It's a lot, but you said it's dead.
I'll never ever come back from this, cause I was caught off guard.
Hey everyone, it's Wasteland Sniper. Yeah, that was a little bit different starting out. Yeah, so I decided to make kind of like a title screen, and I had written a song last year. I'm pretty sure this is one I wrote last year, called Caught Off Guard, about, I wouldn't say it's my favorite card. It's the bane of my existence in the standard set. D20 has Shadow of the Past, I have Caught Off Guard. And since I kind of wanted to, I guess, I don't know, celebrate the fact that I made that new starting, or title screen, I should say, I actually have standard, I'm back to standard 1 for this game. So we'll see how it goes. I'm betting that I'm going to lose something fairly important as I play. Anyway, yeah, so I decided to go with Domino, because she's one that I haven't played much. When the box that she came out, Next Evolution, which was the second of the mutant boxes, I was far more interested in Cable and spent more time playing with Cable, who actually, now that I think of it, I haven't played in a while either, so I might have to do a Cable visit at some point. But anyway, plus a friend of mine from a group that I play with periodically kind of claimed Domino as one of his permanent decks, and so not that I can't play her if I don't want to, it was just kind of one of those things where it was like, he has certain heroes that he'll build decks for, that he's, for whatever reason, he's really feeling the mechanics of the hero, and so he'll build a deck for it. And I figure, you know, I think he's got like 7 heroes out of the 60 some odd heroes that are in the game that he has fully built decks for. So I usually just end up playing something that he doesn't have built, or heroes that he doesn't have anything built for, and that way it gives him like this whole range of choices to choose from, and it's not like I'm hurting for choices, you know. And I'll play just about any hero. There are a few heroes that I don't really gel with, so I don't really play them, but there aren't many of those, and I'm pretty happy to just play anybody. But Domino, her whole thing is luck, and somehow they actually managed to make a mechanic that really feels like you're controlling luck, and it makes her really interesting. It also makes her a little difficult to pilot if you don't really understand the timing with everything. But at the same time, it makes her so much fun to play. So we'll just take a look at her really quick. So on her alter ego side, she is Nina Thurman, 6 card hand size, 9 hit points, 3 recovery, Mutant, action, choose a card in your hand, swap that card with the top card of your discard pile. Limit once per round. This is actually incredibly useful, especially if you can flip down with any regularity. Especially if you have Pip the Pug out. It really helps her to kind of finesse her hand before you flip up to hero form, or if you've just flipped down and there's a card sitting right on top of your discard pile that you know you're going to want, you can just trade your cards out really quick with something in your hand that you know you're not going to use or you were going to discard anyway. As far as Domino, the hero, is concerned, she's got 5 hand size, still 9 hit points. She's a 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense hero. So thwarting, not great. She's got a pretty good attack, and her defense is really great. So when counting resources on cards discarded from the top of your deck, count each printed wild icon twice. This is so great because most of her kit is wild resources. Action, choose a card in your hand, swap that card with the top card of your deck, limit once per round. So this is another good way to basically ensure that when you're using her cards that tell you to discard from the top of your deck, that you've got a card there that's going to help you out in some way. So we're going to go over the deck. I'm not breaking any new ground here. Other people have done way better Domino builds than I put together here, but this is a pretty fun deck. I've played it a couple of times, so I've had a pretty good time with it, and it can deal quite a bit of damage, especially if you get that really fun loop where you're super close to the end of your deck, like you have, say, 3 or 4 cards left, and you keep recycling in, let's look it up here, the jackpot card, which we'll get to as we go through the deck. Anyway, so I've got 4 allies here. 2 of them are actually her signature allies. So I think she was one of the first heroes, if not the first, to have more than one signature ally in her kit, it's very strange. There's still not a lot of heroes who have this. But she's got Diamondback and Outlaw, and they both do different things. Diamondback, you exhaust her and deal 1 damage to her, and then you discard the top card of your deck to deal 1 damage to each enemy for each resource icon discarded this way. So, because of Domino's ability here, when you're counting the resources on the cards you discard, this will give you 2 if you discard a wild resource, so then you do 2 damage to everything on the table. I don't see that coming in super handy with this particular scenario. I played it a couple of times and there haven't been a whole lot of minions that really popped out, but it can be useful if you get overwhelmed. Sometimes I know I've gotten unlucky with encounter decks where there aren't a lot of minions in it, but for whatever reason they all decide to come out right around the same time, and so I've got like 3 minions in front of me, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to deal with all these. Diamondback can help with that. Outlaw comes in with toughness, and she has this interrupt: when Outlaw attacks, discard the top card of your deck. Outlaw gets +1 attack for this attack for each resource icon discarded this way. So she can get +3 if you hit jackpot when you're discarding that. So Outlaw can be pretty nice if you need some damage done from your allies. White Fox she actually originally came in Domino's deck, and she has this response that after White Fox is discarded from the top of your deck, put her into play under your control. So for her stats, a 3 cost is really not good. You want to be making sure that you can discard her off of the top of your deck, so she comes in as a free ally. And then I've also got Atlas Bear in here. Her stats, again, they mirror White Fox's, not that great. What you want her for is her action, Exhaust Atlas Bear. Look at the top card of a player deck. If that card is an event, you may deal 1 damage to Atlas Bear to add that card to its owner's hand. So this can be really useful if you need an event and you're like, I gotta dig through my deck to see if I can get an event, because she gives you at least one way to see what that top card is, and hopefully it's an event. And one of the important things about all of these is they are all posse traded, along with Domino. Domino is also posse traded, and that is important because of this card, the Posse, which is a 2-cost event. Max 1 per deck. Play only if you control at least 3 characters with the Posse trait, and you get a hero action, heal 1 damage from each Posse character, and ready them. I have yet to be able to play this, but this can be huge if you're looking at doing some extra damage or extra thwarting, or like for that final push. If you can get your Posse out and keep them out, and then the Posse keeps coming back, this is great. Also, there is a way to actually get this back into your deck, actually right on the top of the deck, if you can flip down. So this card, I've actually seen it work when other people play it, and it's really good. So hopefully I'll get the chance to play it tonight. Other allies I have in here that are not Posse traded, but they are X-Force traded, which is important for another 2 cards in this deck. We've got Feral. Feral and Wolfsbane both came in Domino's original pre-con deck. And the reason is because after Feral thwarts, discard the top card of your deck, and for each resource icon discarded this way, deal 1 damage to the villain. For Wolfsbane, after Wolfsbane thwarts, name a card type, then discard the top card of your deck. If that card is the name type, you may add it to your hand. Oh yeah, Princess Donut is Domino for the Princess Posse. That would be hilarious. Anyway, let's see, going back here. So the big thing about these two is they're discarding cards, and they don't have to be part of Domino's kit in order for Domino's ability to work. They discard cards, and those resources get counted just like they would for any of her cards. So that's what makes them pretty good in her particular deck. We've also got Deadpool here. He's a 3-cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack. He's got this forced interrupt that when Deadpool would be defeated by consequential damage, you get to heal 3 damage from him instead, and then you add an acceleration token to the main scheme. So it's pretty close to what the actual Deadpool hero does, where if he would die in hero form, you just flip him over, give him a hit point back, and then you add an acceleration token. So mostly he's in here because he's got the X-Force trait, but also because he's got this wild resource. Marrow is you can play only if you have the X-Force or X-Men trait, and then after Marrow enters play, deal 2 damage to an enemy. She's got 1 thwart, 2 attack, and she's 2 costs. So mostly she's in here because she's cheap. Also, she's X-Force. And when she enters play, she does 2 damage to an enemy, which isn't too shabby. So getting back to the rest of the deck. Yeah, I'm on book 8, and I'm trying not to just like plow through it. For the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, I'm really trying not to plow right through it because I know it's going to be a while until the next one comes out. But I also did actually start listening to the first book. I have a hard time with audiobooks in general, but the guy who does the reading for the audiobook is just insanely good, and so I was like, I gotta listen to the books. And since I already read the books, I feel a little bit better about listening to them with like okay, so I can get a little bit I can have my squirrel moments while listening to it, I guess. And then but I still at least know what's going on because I've already read it. He is so good, like, and I know that from all of the, well, so the only reason I can do the audiobooks is because I've read the book already. If I hadn't read the book already, I'd be having a hard time with it. Because I wouldn't be following it. I'd like go off on a tangent thinking while listening to it, and then like 30 minutes later I'd be like, I have no idea what's going on in this book. But now, because I've actually read the book, I can listen to it. But yeah, audiobooks are definitely not going to be my reading mode of choice in the future for pretty much anything. For this one, I can go back over it just because I've actually read the books already. Well, I'd already actually seen quite a few shorts and stuff from YouTube that it was basically that guy doing the voices. What is it? Is it like Audiobook Theater, I think is the channel, or something like that. Yeah, he's so good. Jeff Hayes is ridiculously good. I love his Princess Donut. But anyway, back to the deck. The reason we're here. Alright, so the important cards that I really want to get down as soon as possible are Probability Field, which is when you use a basic power, discard the top card of your deck. You get +1 to that power for this use for each resource icon discarded this way. So I want to get that out as soon as possible. Notice that this is just an interrupt and not a hero interrupt. This means that you can also use it for recovery, because technically a recovery on your alter ego side is actually a basic action. So you can use that to help you recover. Sound Booth Theater, that's it. Then you've got 2 copies of Domino's Pistol that you really want to get down as soon as possible. They're both restricted, so if you want any more weapons in the deck, which I don't have, you would have to bring a side holster. But Domino's Pistol has exhaust Domino's Pistol, choose an enemy and discard the top card of your deck. Deal 1 damage to that enemy for each resource icon discarded this way. This attack gains ranged. The ranged is important for another card, well, another 3 cards in this deck, and that will come up soon. Actually 4 cards, because this is one of the cards it's important for. Sharpshooter is a 2-cost upgrade that is actually not one of Domino's cards, even though, yes, she is actually pictured on it. It is a basic card. When you make a ranged attack, discard the top card of your deck. This attack deals 1 additional damage for each resource icon discarded this way. So, Sharpshooter with, and this actually did come with her original deck as well. So this card is fantastic for Domino. Most of the time, you're going to be adding +2 to every attack that you do with Domino's Pistol. And every once in a while, you get lucky and you hit the jackpot, and it's +3. So I know it might as well be her card. I really want to make it work in Hawkeye. At some point, I'm going to have to put together a Hawkeye deck with Sharpshooter in it and see how well I can make that work. I mean, even getting a +1 on an attack is not bad. Every extra little bit of damage helps. Now we've got Pip the Pug. And Pip the Pug, He's so cute, isn't he? He has an alter ego action. Exhaust Pip the Pug. Put 1 Domino or Posse card from your discard pile on top of your deck. So remember how I was saying that the Posse, it would be easy to get it back into the deck? It's because of Pip the Pug. It is Posse traded, so you can use Pip the Pug to grab it and put it back on top of your deck, which is great. Pip the Pug is, I think, one of her best cards, if I'm being honest. I love pugs. They're so cute. And speaking of the Painted Lady is the other card that you want to get out as soon as possible. So it's after you discard a card from the top of your deck, attach that card face down here to a maximum of 3. Notice that in order to attach it here, you do not have to exhaust the Painted Lady. So you can use both of her guns to discard cards, and both of those cards can be like, oh, hey, I need those for later. And you can stash them both under the Painted Lady in the same turn. Just as long as you're not going over 3. And then alter ego action is exhaust the Painted Lady to add 1 card attached here to your hand. So that's the only real restriction that gets kind of annoying, because it's entirely possible to have a couple of cards that you under the Painted Lady that you really want both at the same time, but you actually have to choose one or the other. You can't grab them both at the same time. So these are her cards, except for Sharpshooter, but as Nine Down mentioned, it might as well be her card. That you really want to get out on the table as soon as possible. Not her cards, but will help this deck work a little bit better for a couple of cards in the deck. And actually, I probably should have just kind of changed the deck up a little bit more, so I didn't need to include these, but it's Children of the Atom, and I've got 2 copies of this in here to get it out as soon as possible. This is each X-Factor, X-Force, and X-Men character you control gains the X-Factor, X-Force, and X-Men traits. So, Domino gains, she's X-Force already, so she becomes X-Men and X-Factor. Marrow, Deadpool, Feral, and Wolfsbane all gain the other traits as well. This might be better for a different deck build, but I actually threw them in here we'll jump ahead a little bit, for the Gunboat Diplomacy. I've got 2 copies of Gunboat Diplomacy in here, and it's just so that you can exhaust an X-Force character and an X-Men character to remove X threat from among schemes in play and deal X damage among enemies in play, where X is the combined thwart of the 2 exhausted characters. So this is mostly to just help with thwarting, because her thwarting is not great. But we'll get back to going through the deck in order. So I think for the setup for this particular deck, I really want, if I can get probability field out, that would be great. Her pistols, though, I think are the thing that I want the most, along with Pip the Pug and the Painted Lady. The Painted Lady is probably I should get the Painted Lady before Pip the Pug, just so that I can save cards and come back to them when I flip down. Posse allies, it's really nice to get them out as soon as possible if you can. The main issue with them, though, is they have so little health. They're all 3 or less. Diamondback is 2. And so they don't tend to stay out for very long. But if you can get them out and keep them out and then just keep playing the Posse, that's great. And so even though you only have 3 ally slots, they don't all have to be taken up by Posse allies, because Domino counts as a Posse character. So the Posse card will work as long as Domino is on her hero side. And it's a hero action anyway, so you have to be on the hero side. Let's see. Oh, Luck Be a Lady. This is one of Domino's best cards, I think. It's a superpower, hero action. Discard the top card of your deck and count the resources on it. For each resource counted this way, if it is a energy resource, heal 2 damage from a character. Mental, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Physical, deal 3 damage to an enemy. Wild, choose one of the above. And again, if it is a wild, you get to choose 2 of the above because it counts twice. So Luck Be a Lady is a really great card, and one that is actually a prime target for Pip the Pug to keep putting on top of her deck. Now we get into her thwarting and attack cards that are part of her specific kit. Right Place, Right Time is her thwarting event. You remove 3 threat from a scheme and discard the top card of your deck. For each resource icon discarded this way, remove 1 additional threat from that scheme. And a good workout is essentially the same thing, just with attack. And you deal 4 damage instead of 3. So these are generally really good value cards, and you're almost never sorry to see them unless for whatever reason, like Right Place, Right Time can be a little more situational if you don't have any threat, but the attack one, there's always something to hit, so a good workout is not necessarily bad to see. This is actually when I was mentioning the pistols and how there are 4 cards that really rely on the fact that this has ranged, one of them being Sharpshooter. These are the other 3. 3 copies of Directed Force, 0 cost event. When your hero makes an attack that has a keyword, Overkill, Piercing, or Ranged, that attack deals 2 additional damage, and it's max 1 per attack. So you can't stack these on top of each other, but still, that's 2 additional damage, plus, Sharpshooter is giving you 1 or 2 additional damage, plus the pistols are usually giving you 1 or 2 damage. If you get lucky with that weird recursion with Jackpot, which I actually have seen. I think Andre on Crash Space drew the Jackpot like 2 or 3 times in a row, discarding it. And the reason that works is because Jackpot has this: after this card is discarded from the top of your deck, shuffle it back into your deck. So whenever it's discarded, it just goes back into the deck. This is also another target for Pip the Pug to go after, to get it back into your deck if you use it to pay for something, because it is, as you can see, 3 resources, which is super nice. Now we get to Gunboat Diplomacy. So this might be not the best card to have in this deck. I don't think I've actually played it the couple of times I played this deck, but I figured, what the hey, we'll try. And that's why I have these X-Force characters in this deck with the Children of the Atom support, is so that we can use Gunboat Diplomacy, hopefully, at some point. We've got Skilled Investigator, because it's a Justice deck, so why not? And then we've got a couple of her cards that I don't know that they see a lot of use, but they can definitely be useful. So there's Lucky Break, where when you reveal an encounter card, discard Lucky Break, cancel the effects of that card and discard it, reveal another card from the encounter deck. It would be nice to get this down so that I could short circuit Caught Off Guard. Because, this would get discarded anyway, so I won't feel too bad if it gets eaten by Caught Off Guard. And then Lucky and Good is a hero interrupt defense. So when a boost card is turned face up during an attack against you, exhaust Lucky and Good, cancel that card's boost icons and boost ability, give the attacking enemy another boost card for this attack. So you're still having to get another boost, which could still be bad, but it could actually be good too. So again, her kit does a really good job at representing luck. And then the last card, other than all of these lovely little resources at the end of the deck, is the IPAC. It's a 1-cost support. Play only if your identity has the X-Force trait. Exhaust IPAC, deal 1 face down encounter card to a player. That player draws 2 cards. I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of this. We'll see. like, I like the idea of the iPack, but I don't really like the idea of adding extra encounter cards. This card, if you can either sneak it in, like cheat it in while you're playing Star-Lord, or if you're playing Star-Lord and somebody is playing an X-Force hero and they've got this in their deck and they can basically just use it to give you encounter cards and card draw. Star-Lord loves this card. Everybody else, not so much. Yeah, but anyway, that's my Domino deck. Like I said, it's not breaking any new ground. It's using a lot of cards from her original deck that she came with. Like Digging Deep is actually from her deck, her original pre-con deck. But Digging Deep is nice because after this card is discarded from the top of your deck, you add it to your hand, and they're wild resources. So it's basically you're discarding a card, and then you're getting a resource back from it. Plus, it's helping you to do whatever it is that you need to do with Domino's cards. And then we've got the usual basic doubles, and then the Power of Justice. So, get this all hopefully get it shuffled up really well. I know I gotta get these posse cards too. So let's talk about Dark Beast. Dark Beast actually came from the Age of Apocalypse. He's the 4th scenario, I believe. And right now, aside from the leadership ally, the only way that you can see Beast in the game. Curse you, FFG. I was really rooting for a Beast hero because he's one of the original X-Men. Hello? Like, why is Beast not in the game as a hero? Anyway, Dark Beast is... I think he's actually a pretty fun scenario. He's also probably one of the easier scenarios in that particular box, while still having kind of an interesting, well, maybe not easier, but simpler, actually. I think he's probably one of the simplest in that particular box. And really in the game, he's actually fairly simple. He's a villain that I think is not that difficult to kind of keep track of what's going on, as long as you remember that you're always going to have a location setting environment in play, and that when he attacks, he triggers the special on whatever that location setting is. So other than that, he's a pretty straightforward villain. Pretty much, as with most of the villains in the game, you want to get him down to 0 hit points and then repeat for the next phase of the villain, and then you win. So as far as setting up Dark Beast Bogus Journey, as we have the Blue Moon, Genosha, I don't know what the pronunciation of it is, and the Savage Land modular sets. We also have the recommended modular set, Dystopian Nightmare, is already in here. As I said, I'm using standard 1 again. And I've already put my my obligation in there for Domino. So I think I should be pretty good on shuffling for that. So now we have to choose one of these to go in the deck, and you have to do it randomly. So when this flips over, nothing really happens. It's just if this stage is completed, the players lose the game, and it starts with 1 threat on it. Dark Beast, however, when revealed, reveal a random set aside environment and shuffle the rest of its encounter set into the encounter deck. So this is where we get to choose one of these, and we'll use a d6 to determine that. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll roll a 2. So we got blue area of the moon. So the blue moon set, each minion gains guard. So we're not going to be able to attack Dark Beast while any minions are in play. And the specialist to deal 1 damage to your identity. And when revealed, discard each other's setting environment into play. So that's not that big of a deal right now. It will be when we have to add one of these other 2 into play. So we'll just put those off to the side. We're going to put this over here, and then we're going to put these into the encounter deck. Oh. Yeah, I don't play Ms. Marvel at all, so I don't really know her kit. Is that a mirror? But he puts it on the bottom of her deck, doesn't he? I'm pretty sure that's what he does. I mean, it's still useful to get it back into your deck and to basically know where it is. Like, if there's a specific card, you're like, oh, I think it's always useful to know where the card is in your deck, so even if it is at the bottom, you're like, okay, well, I can't count on that showing up anytime soon, but... Okay, so we're going to remove the die. We don't need that. Dark Beast has 15 hit points. I have 9. Okay, we are good to start. Alright. Let's get into our alter ego form. Draw cards. Directed Force, not going to need that. The Posse, useless. Strength. I'll keep that. Ooh, the Painted Lady. I'm so glad to see that. Wolfsbane. Ooh, that could be nice. And Digging Deep. Okay, so I know already I'm going to get rid of these. I don't really want to keep Digging Deep in hand. Wolfsbane would be nice, but I don't think I'm going to keep that one. So we're going to discard them this way. So I'm going to have Digging Deep on the top of the discard pile over here. Now we're going to get 4 more cards. So we have Diamondback. Ooh, Domino's Pistol. Okay. Another Directed Force. So that's 5, 6, and a Genius. So this isn't terrible, actually. I can actually get out Domino's Pistol, Diamondback, and the Painted Lady. I can get all 3 of them out. So I'm thinking this is not a bad opening hand. Okay. There's not really anything in hand that I necessarily want to get rid of. Actually, you know what? Yeah. So I'm going to take Directed Force and I'm going to swap it with Digging Deep. So I'm going to put Digging Deep into my hand. And that will become clear, like the reason will become clear soon. Okay, so we're flipping up to Domino. Now I can choose a card in hand and swap that card with the top of my deck. Limit once per round. So I'm going to take Digging Deep and swap it with the top card, which is a good workout. So not terrible, but I would rather build and get everything here built up. Plus I can actually, this'll make sense in a sec. Alright, so I'm going to use Genius to pay for Domino's Pistol. And then I will, let's see. I'm going to use Domino's Pistol and discard the top card of Domino's deck. Oh, look at that. It's a Digging Deep. So that's going to come right back to my hand, which is nice. Plus, that's going to do 2 damage on Dark Beast. So that's nice there. Now I can use Digging Deep to pay for the Painted Lady. So the Painted Lady is out. I'm going to use Strength to get out Diamondback. I'm not going to use her ability just because there's only Dark Beast, so that's not really worth doing. I will, however, thwart this down to 0 just because I want to keep this as clear as possible. This can shoot up so fast, and since it's only got 1 stage, I will lose rather quickly if it does actually go up pretty fast. So we'll ready. I've still got a good workout in hand. I'm going to keep that in my hand, and we will draw. So we need 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hate to see both attack cards. That's okay. Yeah, domino sequencing can be a bit to keep up with, but I don't think she's the hardest one to keep up with. I think Magic is probably harder. Not probably, I think Magic. I just straight up think Magic is harder. Someday I'll play Magic, but I need to put together a decent deck for her first, because I've tried in the past and I've not managed to do it. So, but Magic would be another fun one to play. She came in the box, Age of Apocalypse, which Dark Beast is from, with Bishop. And for that box, Bishop was more my focus. I still do enjoy Bishop. I should get him out and play him again too. Anyway, alright. So this is going to go up by 1. Dark Beast is going to attack, and again, when he attacks, resolve the special ability on the setting environment. So that is deal 1 damage to your identity. So we are going down to 8. And now he's attacking. There's not really anything I can do except I can block, which I think I'm going to do just because I don't really want to lose a whole lot of hit points. This chip damage that's going to happen every time that Dark Beast attacks is not good. And you'd be amazed at just how bad that can go in just a couple of turns. So he's attacking for 2. Just 2. So I take no damage because I was defending for 3. Yeah, Magic is something else. If you've ever played the Lord of the Rings LCG by FFG, Magic is Gandalf, the Gandalf hero from the Lord of the Rings card game. Yeah, she's the one who gets to play with the top card of her deck revealed. Like, I can see her as being super fun if you can figure out all the timing that goes with that, but it can be rough. Anyway, let's see. So now we have to draw an encounter card. Oh, Dark Beast is getting his goggles. So, attached to Dark Beast, he gets +1 scheme. Exhaust your hero and resolve the special ability on the setting environment. Discard this card. So if I want to get rid of that, I'm going to have to be in a state that I can exhaust and then also take a damage if this is what's out while I get rid of it. Which hopefully it will be, because I don't want this hanging around for too long. Okay, so back to my turn. I don't really have anything great to play. I mean, Lucky Break, I could Lucky Break and Skilled Investigator I could put down. That's not bad. So we'll actually get both of those down. This will also kind of thin the deck out so I can get to the cards that I really want. Oh. It's been very dry here recently, so I'm going to be drinking a lot of water. I mean, it's always dry here, but I think it's been, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but it's felt extra dry. Okay. So I think we're just going to use Domino's Pistol. So we'll discard the top card. Oh, it is Sharpshooter. So that's unfortunate to see go. And it's only got an energy resource, so it's only going to do 1 damage. So Dark Beast is down at 12. But, oh, and actually, you know what? This is where we're gonna use the Painted Lady. So we're gonna put Sharpshooter under the Painted Lady. And then I think I'm just gonna use the Power of Justice and a Good Workout to play a good workout. So we're gonna deal 4 damage to an enemy. That is gonna be Dark Beast. So he'll be down to, he'll lose at least 8. And then we'll discard the top card, or not 8. He'll go down to at least 8. He'll lose at least 4. So we'll discard the top card of the deck. Oh, look at that. It's a Digging Deep, which is going to come to my hand. So we'll deal 4, 5, 6 damage to Dark Beast, which is going to put him down to 6. And then those will go to discard. And Digging Deep comes up to my hand, which isn't super useful because I've got nothing to spend it on. And I believe, did I already use her ability to swap the top card with the card in my hand? I don't even remember. I'll just keep it in hand. I don't... It would be nice to flip down, but I don't really want to because he's going to be scheming for 3. This goes up by 1, so it'll go up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if he gets a 3 boost. And then if he gets an advance, I'll immediately lose the game. So we're going to stay up in hero form. Don't know that I want to keep Digging Deep in hand. I'm not going to. I'm going to toss it. I need to get my other set up. So we have Energy, Deadpool, a Directed Force. Okay, nice. A Right Place, Right Time. And a White Fox. Alright. I know what's going on top of the deck next turn. So this is going to go up by 1. Dark Beast is attacking. I lose a hit point. So we're down to 7. I would really like to block this. I could throw Diamondback in the way, but I don't really want to because I'd kind of like to keep my posse cards available. So I'm just going to keep her here. So I'm just going to take the hit. So he's attacking for 2, 3, 4. Not great. So now I'm down to 3 hit points and I absolutely have to flip down this turn. Not cool. Now, let's see what we draw. Oh, we have Gladiator. So we have a minion. He does have the teamwork keyword for Imperial Guard, so we'll want to get rid of him as soon as possible. The teamwork is... Like, I don't know why, but for the life of me, I can never remember how teamwork works because they changed it. When it initially came out, it was, if a minion with teamwork is revealed, then every minion who has that is attached to that team. So for this one, it would be Imperial Guard. Every minion attached to that activates. I think it was every minion on the table, and it was brutal. It was awful. I think even if it was just the ones in front of you, it was still terrible. So they changed it. And I want to say now it's just that whenever they come out, basically, if there's another, like if there was another Imperial Guard out already, then he would just basically get Quick Strike and he'd immediately attack. Though he would also, if I was flipped down, he could also just immediately scheme. They don't have a word for that because so far that hasn't been in the game yet, where a minion comes out and just immediately schemes. Oh, I hope they don't get any ideas and do that. that would be terrible. But let's see. He is an elite Imperial Guard. And while Trial by Combat is in play, Gladiator cannot take damage. So thankfully that is not in play, so hopefully we can get rid of him as soon as possible. And that actually, between Diamondback, Domino's Pistol, and the fact that I have a directed force in hand, that should be doable. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take White Fox, and I'm going to activate Domino's ability, her action, to choose a card in my hand, White Fox, and swap that with the top card of the deck, which is another Right Place, Right Time. So I know White Fox is on top of my deck right now. Then I am going to use a Domino's Pistol. So we're discarding the top card. Oh look, it's White Fox. So she's going to come into play. Unfortunately, that means Domino's Pistol is only going to do 1 damage to Gladiator, but that's fine. We have White Fox now. Oh, crap. I was going to use Directed Force 2, so that's actually going to do another 2 damage on there because it is ranged. So, sorry about that. It was sitting in my hand, I'm like, I'm going to use this, and then I totally forgot about it. So I can get Deadpool out, and he can definitely help. Between Deadpool and White Fox, they can actually take out Gladiator. Though I kind of want Deadpool to thwart. So I think I'm going to have, actually, yeah, I'm going to get Deadpool out, so we're going to use Energy and Right Place, Right Time to get Deadpool out. And then we're going to have Deadpool thwart 2 off the main. White Fox is going to attack Gladiator for 1. So now he's got 4 damage on him. And then we're going to exhaust Diamondback and deal 1 damage to her. And discard the top card. It's a Children of the Atom. That's unfortunate. Alright, so that's only going to do 1 damage to Gladiator, and that will leave... Yep, that's going to do a damage to Dark Beast as well, so it's going to put him down at 5. And unfortunately, I lose a copy of Children of the Atom. I would like to get that out soon. I've still got this Right Place, Right Time. Actually, you know what? I'll use the Painted Lady to hold on to that. So I can grab it. Then I'm going to flip down. Nope. Before I do that, I'm gonna attack Gladiator, and we're gonna get rid of him because he needs to go. Oh. Crap. Except we also need to get rid of those high-tech goggles. Oh, we're just going to have to hope he doesn't scheme out here. Alright, so now we're going to flip down. And we're going to exhaust the Painted Lady. And let's see, I'm going to keep Sharpshooter under here because I can't pay for it. However, I can pay for Children of the Atom with Right Place, Right Time. So I'm going to play Children of the Atom. So now Deadpool is, he's got his wish. He's now part of the X-Men. He's also X-Factor as well. So there is that. Alright, now we are going to stand back up. I have no cards in hand, so we'll draw back up to 6. So, oh, we got Jackpot, Probability Field, Hit the Pug, yay, iPack, Atlas Bear, and Gunboat Diplomacy. Alright, so now I will be able to use Gunboat Diplomacy. Sadly, it's not going to be quite as good as if I had another X-Force out, just because she only has a 1 thwart on her, so not super great there, but we can work with that, though. Alright, so Dark Beast Bogus Journey is going to go up by 1. Beast is going to scheme for at least 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is not going to go badly at all. Alright, Evil Genius, Dark Beast schemes. Oh, I just lost. Yep, I just lost. So he schemes for 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at 6, that puts us at 11, so we lose. So that's unfortunate. What time is it? It's 7:57. Alright, I am going to restart this game. Maybe I should not have dropped down. I probably should have just thrown White Fox in the way. Just stayed up and thrown White Fox in the way of the next attack, but... Alright, oh, and this needs to be in there too. Yeah, I forgot he has a couple of different ways to scheme, so that was unfortunate, but... Oh well. Alright, so he'll go back up to 15. And I will go back up to 9. There we go. And then we'll put all of this back in. That's always the way. You get like the perfect, well, it seems like the perfect setup hand. And then things just go very badly. Or you make a mistake. Like a terrible mistake. Yeah. We're just going to stick with Blue Area of the Moon. I don't really feel like digging the cards out. This will go down to 1. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got. We've got Power of Justice. Power of Justice, not great. Genius, wow! So right now this is starting to look like a Bishop's hand. Gunboat Diplomacy, which is very not useful. Children of the Atom, which is useful. And Skilled Investigator. Wow, this is not great. I will keep those 3, and I will drop those 3. So let's see what else we get. A Directed Force, not great. Outlaw. And a Deadpool. Wow, this hand is awful. Really not good at all. Okay. We'll play Skilled Investigator because we can. I'm going to use Genius and Deadpool to play Outlaw, who has Toughness, I'm going to use Directed Force to get out Children of the Atom. So this was not great. We will flip up to Domino. I'm going to move over here so we can see a little bit better. I'm not going to do anything with Outlaw so she can keep her tough. Domino is going to take 1 off of there. And that will be the end of my first turn, which is not a great turn, but... Alright, so there's the pistols. I got a right place, right time. Feral. Directed Force. And another Directed Force. Wow. Not great. Alright, so this is going up by 1. Dark Beast is attacking. So I'm going to go down to 8. Outlaw is going to block. So 2, 3, 4. Outlaw just loses tough. War Weary. When revealed, you are stunned. If you were already stunned, take 2 damage instead. I am not already stunned, so I will become stunned. Alright. Well... don't really need right place, right time. I'm not going to be able to play Feral. I kind of want to keep a Directed Force if I can. So I'm going to use Feral in right place, right time to get out Domino's pistol. We're going to put that over here. I am stunned. However, I will do a basic attack. So I am not stunned anymore. Then we're going to use Domino's pistol. And we are going to include a Directed Force with that. So we're going to discard the top card of the deck. It is Pip the Pug, unfortunately. So that is going to be 2, 3, 4 damage going on to Dark Beast. Oops. So he's down to 11. So that, I've still got this Directed Force, which I am going to keep in my hand. And then we are going to ready and draw. So we have a Directed Force, a Strength, another Children of the Atom, a Digging Deep, and a Digging Deep. How is it possible to get in a worse hand? Wow. I'm going from starting with really good hands to this, whatever this is. Alright, so this is going up by 1. Dark Beast is attacking. Domino is going to take a damage. I want to keep Outlaw around. I'm going to have Domino defend. So she's defending for 3, he's attacking for 2. You are stunned. If you were already stunned, take 2 damage instead. Wow. Alright, so I'm back to being stunned again. And now... oh, look! We're being attacked again! So I lose... another hit point from blue area of the moon. And then Outlaw... oh... do I have Outlaw block this attack? Because he's attacking for 2. I have 6 hit points left. Yeah. I'll just take it. So 2, 3. It's good to see Evil Genius gone. So I'm down to 3 hit points. Oh, this is another situation I need to flip down, but if I do, things are going to go badly. Alright, so I'm going to use her ability to trade Digging Deep with the top card of my deck. It's a lucky break. We'll put that down. I'm going to have Outlaw attack. So we'll discard... oh, look at that, it's a Digging Deep, which I can't use for anything. So... She's gonna get +1 for each resource icon, so that's +2 because it is a wild. So she's attacking for 3 into Dark Beast. So Dark Beast is down to 8. And she's taken 1 consequential damage. I literally can't use any of these cards in my hand right now. I'm going to use Domino's Pistol because it's an attack, so that's just going to get rid of Stunned. And then, well, I will hold Directed Force and Strength in hand, and I'm just going to get rid of these 3. I don't know why. Well, I mean, it was just to see if I could draw a useful card, but didn't really. Lucky Break wasn't that useful. I don't know. It might actually be useful this turn. We'll see. When I draw an encounter card. So I got 1, 2, 3, right place, right time. 4, White Fox, okay. 5. Oh, there we go. Luck Be a Lady. So between White Fox and Luck Be a Lady, hopefully we'll have a good turn this next turn. So this will go up by 1. Dark Beast is attacking again. So I'm going to go down to 2 hit points, and at this point Outlaw has to block. I can't take an attack again. So 2, and he gets his genetic enhancement, which gives him a +1 attack. Okay. Yep, let's just make this as rough as possible. Oh, nice! I haven't really been following World Cup. I don't know, I got away from like following sports like years and years and years ago. I just kind of stopped being interesting. Let's see, so Outlaw is gone. And now in order to get rid of this, I have to exhaust, take a damage. Ugh. And then I'll be down to 1 hit point, so not good. That's terrible. Alright, let's see what our encounter card is. Warstar. When revealed, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If that card is an Imperial Guard minion, reveal it. Otherwise, resolve the special ability on the setting environment. Okay. So we're discarding. Oh, crap. Yeah, this is not great. So this gets revealed. And since it has teamwork, he's going to activate, which means he's going to attack me, which means that I have to exhaust in order to block, otherwise I am very dead. This is terrible. This is really bad. I probably should have popped Lucky Break. But then I would have ended up with Gladiator anyway, so... Alright. So I am going to use her ability to take White Fox. Wait, did I not get... I thought I got stunned again. Or no, wait, that's right, I got rid of the stun by using Domino's Pistol. That's right. Okay, so we're going to use White Fox. We're going to put her on top of the deck and draw Jackpot. Okay. So... how do I want to do this? Oh... okay, Luck Be a Lady would be really nice. Oh, it would have been really nice to do Luck Be a Lady with Jackpot, but... right place, right time could be useful. Directed Force and Domino's Pistol, that's going to give me 3 damage if I do that right now, because White Fox is in there. Or I could do this. I could play right place, right time. Which would remove 3 threat off of here. Then I could discard and I would get White Fox. Because the fact that she only has an energy resource, so she would only be giving me 1 resource, wouldn't be bad. And then I could use, what could I use for, I mean, it seems so silly to pay for Lucky Lady with Jackpot, but I kind of need Directed Force for Domino's Pistol. And I've already gotten rid of all my Digging Deeps, I think. 1, 2. No, there's 1 more Digging Deep in there. But the chances of me hitting it are not good. So that is not great. I've really got to get rid of both Warstar and Gladiator. But I also need to heal, which is kind of another thing. Let's see. I'm just going to play right place, right time. So we'll move 3 threat from here. Discard the top card of the deck. So I remove an extra threat, but it's already gone. So, oh look, I get White Fox. Okay. If I can attack with Domino's Pistol and get 2... If I can get a wild on that, and then play Directed Force, that would give me 4 damage. And then I could use White Fox, and that would take out Warstar. I would still be stuck with Gladiator. Plus this genetic enhancement, which is not great. And then in order to play Luck Be a Lady, I'd have to use Jackpot, which is just... ugh. Oh well. Alright, so we're going to use Domino's Pistol to attack Warstar. That is an energy, but at least it's giving me 2. So it's basically like if I had drawn a wild. And we're also using Directed Force, so that's going to put 4 damage on Warstar. Then White Fox is going to attack for 1 and take out Warstar. So Warstar is gone. Gladiator schemes for 2. Dark Beast schemes for 2. This will go up for 1, so it's going to go up to 5. I'm at 2 hit points. I really need to flip down, but I don't see that happening. So we're just going to way overpay for Luck Be a Lady with Jackpot. And discard the top card of the deck. Count the resources. It's the Painted Lady, of course. Okay, so I get to choose 2. So I can either heal 2 damage, remove 2 threat, or deal 3 damage to an enemy. I think I'm going to use both of those to heal 2 damage, because holy cow. So I'm going to go back up to 6. And unfortunately, I had to discard the Painted Lady. Yeah, this is not going great. Alright, so we're readying and drawing up. Oh, please give me something good. Diamondback. Marrow, okay. IPAC. Lucky and Good. And Atlas Bear. Diamondback would be useful here. Marrow could be useful. I don't know that Atlas Bear would be that useful, but we'll see. Alright, this is going up by 1. Dark Beast is attacking for 2, and I take a damage because of the special. See, I'm telling you, the damage, it just comes on so fast. Alright. So he's attacking for at least 2. Gladiator is going to attack for 3. I'm going to have White Fox jump in the way of Dark Beast. So he's attacking for 2, 3. Oh good, that gets rid of another Imperial Guard. So White Fox is gone. Gladiator is attacking, or no, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that was the right call, is to have White Fox take that one. Domino is going to jump into the way of Gladiator, or not jump into the way, she's just going to block Gladiator's attack. I gotta remember I have Lucky Break here, so we're going to draw our encounter card, Memories of Armageddon. Oh yeah, we're going to pop Lucky Break for this one because this is her obligation. So treat your identity's printed text box as if it were blank except for traits. And then as an alter ego action, exhaust your identity to discard Memories of Armageddon. No thank you. So we popped a Lucky Break. When you reveal an encounter card, discard Lucky Break, cancel the effects of that card, and discard it, reveal another card from the encounter deck. Watch this be even worse. Oracle. So Oracle is going to come in and immediately attack, but when revealed, she's going to confuse me. So I am now confused. But she's attacking for 1, so that's going to take me down to 4. Okay, I guess that could have been worse. Alright, so Diamondback is definitely, I think, the play here. I'm gonna lose Atlas Bear and iPack to play Diamondback. We're gonna exhaust Diamondback and do a damage to her and discard the top card of the deck. Please be a wild. Not a wild, it is Wolfsbane. So that's just gonna do 1 damage to every enemy. This is not working out. Seriously, the other 2 times that I played with this deck, like, I made a couple of very small changes to this deck, and none of those changes would affect how it worked previously. I had both of Domino's pistols out, and I was just doing massive amounts of damage to Dark Beast. This is awful. This is going really terribly. I could use Marrow to get out lucky and good. So that might be a good thing to get out. We're going to use Domino's pistol. And I'm going to attack Oracle. Because we got to get rid of something here. Digging Deep. Okay. So that's going to do 2 damage to Oracle, which will be the 3, so Oracle is gone. And with that Digging Deep coming into hand, I can actually use that and Lucky and Good to get out Marrow, which I'm going to do. And after Marrow enters play, deal 2 damage to an enemy, so we're going to put 2 damage on Gladiator. And then Marrow is going to attack Gladiator for 2. Unfortunately, that doesn't take Gladiator out. Gladiator still needs 1 more damage in order to be gone. But now I've got some defense, and hopefully I can use this to build up. Okay, so... I'm trying, I'm really trying. This is just not going well, this game. Alright, so we're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So many cards I want to play. Okay, so we got Domino's other pistol, we've got the probability field, and we've got sharpshooter. This is gonna be a rough hand. Alright. So this is gonna go up by 1. Dark Beast is attacking, which means I'm losing 1 hit point. Oh, this is so bad. I'm gonna have Marrow jump in the way here. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's attacking for 5. Yep, that definitely takes out Marrow. And Diamondback is gonna jump in the way of Gladiator. So, goodbye Diamondback. And let's draw Time Travel Shenanigans. Alright, when defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until they discard a card from the same encounter set as the setting environment and reveals the just discarded card. Not great. I really don't want to do that if I don't have to, but I need to get rid of this because that's just going to make things go up super fast. Alright, sharpshooter. I am only going to be able to get one of these out. This is pretty terrible. Okay, I'm going to use her ability to swap the posse with the top card of the deck, which is a good workout, which is not helpful. So, with Domino, I can attack Gladiator. Or do I get rid of this genetic enhancement? No, I gotta get rid of Gladiator. Gladiator's gotta go. Man, that +1 to his attack, though, not good. And I'm at 3 hit points again, so... this is not going well. So I could use... So if I attack with Domino's pistol, while I have sharpshooter down, I get to discard 2 cards. So I can either get sharpshooter down or Domino's pistol down. And both, it's effectively doing the same thing, except sharpshooter adds the damage to Domino's pistol, while this, I could use the damage elsewhere, which doesn't matter right now, but could matter if we pull another minion. That being the case, I hate to do it, but I'm going to use both copies of Good Workout to get Domino's other pistol down. I'm going to hold on to Probability Field and Sharpshooter. Though I should probably just drop them into the discard because I've only got 2 cards. So I'm going to have to reshuffle anyway. Actually, no, these are not going to go into discard because if I use Domino's pistols, these 2 cards go away and my deck immediately reshuffles. So never mind. I guess I will be keeping these in hand at the end of the turn. Alright, we're going to use Domino's Pistol to attack Dark Beast. And that is going to give 2 damage because it's a wild. So he's down to 5. There we go. And then we're going to use Domino's other pistol to do the same thing for Gunboat Diplomacy, which is only going to do 1 damage. Okay, so that goes there, and then we get another, we get an encounter card. Alright. Yeah, this is going pretty badly. Hopefully, we'll draw something in this hand that will help. It would have been nice if I could bounce down to Alter Ego, but I mean, with this, he's scheming for 2. This is already at 2, so this is going to go up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It could get up to 9, and then he could scheme again. So, not good. But now we are going to ready and draw up. So again, we're keeping these 2. Unless... You know what, never mind. I'm going to discard Probability Field. Because I can get that back if I need to. Alright, so we'll keep Sharpshooter. Luck be a lady. Okay. A good workout. A Digging Deep, and a Strength. Okay. So this is going to go up by 2. Dark Beast is attacking. I lose another hit point. This is so bad. So he's attacking for 3. I can't really do anything about this except for block. He's attacking for 3, 4, 5. I block for 3, so I take 2 damage, so I die. This is not great. The last couple of games I played against Dark Beast, that I just stomped him. He just, man. I had a perfect starting hand for that first game, and then I made that mistake of jumping down when I didn't really need to. I could have used White Fox to take that attack. Oh! And then this game, I was behind from the beginning. That was a horrible starting hand for this game. I would start playing again, but I don't really have time, so I'm going to have to end it. Yeah, so that was unfortunate. Domino is usually much, much better. I don't know. I'll have to revisit this at some point, because yeah, this was just terrible. Boo. Maybe I'll do a replay. Maybe this weekend, and I'll post a video of the rematch, just a regular video, not a live stream, since it is the 4th of July weekend. Woo! I love the 4th of July. It's one of my favorite holidays. So, and I'll mostly just be playing games by myself, most likely. So, yeah, I think I'll just do a video revisiting this particular matchup, because I know Domino can take out Dark Beast. I made a horrible mistake in the first game. And then the second game, man, that everything was just coming out at the wrong time. Just everything was coming out at the wrong time. So, yeah, not good. I am also looking at doing I want to start doing campaign playthroughs, like two-handed campaign playthroughs. I don't think I'm going to do those on a live stream. I'll just video those and then post them. I did come up with an idea that might be kind of crazy, but I thought would be kind of fun. So Doctor Strange has a card in his deck that most people consider to be the worst card in his deck. It's called Magical Enhancements, I think, and it's basically you play it under the control of any player, and their hero gets +1 thwart and +1 attack. And then at like the end of the round, I think it is, it gets discarded. So it goes to your discard pile if you're Doctor Strange. For most heroes, that's not necessarily a great card. For Quicksilver, it's actually a pretty good card if you can get that onto Quicksilver. Like if you're playing Doctor Strange and Quicksilver. But I thought, oh, it'd be really fun to use that with Hercules. If you also built Doctor Strange to basically just buff Hercules. And so by the time Hercules finishes his last labor, and he's got all of his upgrades, and he's able to be hitting with what was it, the mace. So he's getting +3 when he does a basic attack. So he's hitting for 6, and then if you get both Lions of Olympus out, that's another +2, so that's 8. So then you get a magical enhancements on him, or if you can get 2 magical enhancements on him, that's 10. But then if you also play, let's see, I gotta look at the card really quick. Now I gotta go find it. Look at the deck. I've my kind of concept deck for it. Alright, so then you play a lead from the front. So if Doctor Strange plays a lead from the front, that gives him, that's going to give Hercules another +1 attack, so that's 11. And if you can play a morale boost on him, that's another +1 attack, so that's 12. And if you can play multiple morale boosts and multiple lead from the fronts, that's going to be +1 for each one that you can play. So his attack could get absolutely ridiculous. And that's just on top of the other things, like if you're in leadership, that you can... So playing both of the heroes in leadership, I've got actually multiple sets of lead from the front. So, funny story. I was this was in 2022. I was at the local game convention here, and I was playing against tower defense. I don't remember what hero I was using. It may have been Gamora. That doesn't matter. What's important is that I was playing tower defense. I cleaned up all my cards, and then, I don't even know how much longer it was later that I finally realized, when I was separating out my my deck after playing, and this was probably a couple of weeks later, I realized I only had 6 standard cards. There's supposed to be 7 in the set, and so I was like, oh no, I lost a standard card. I looked everywhere for that standard card. I don't even remember which one it was that I lost, but it was gone. I could not find it. I checked the tower defense scenario like 4 times looking for that card and couldn't find it. And I was like, this is going to drive me crazy. And I could have proxied the card, but then every time I drew the card, I would have just had anxiety because that would have just bothered me. Yeah, that would be where my very, very mild OCD would have kicked in. Or, you know, something akin to a mild OCD would have kicked in. And every time I saw that card, it would have annoyed me enough that I didn't want to play. So I was like, screw it. And I went and bought a whole second core set. Yep, I did. So I actually have 2 core sets, and I have 2 copies of Standard. Oh, and a couple of months later, when I was going through my cards again, and I was going through Tower Defense because I was thinking I would like to play that again. Guess what card I found in Tower Defense? Yup, that card. So I actually have 2 copies of Standard 1, a copy of Standard 2, and a copy of Standard 3, and then a copy of all the different custom standards, except for this last year for Con of Heroes. Since I wasn't able to go this year, and then I was unable to get my hands on the set for the Con of Heroes from this year. But yeah, so I've got like various sets of Standard that I can use, but I do have two copies of the core set Standard because I have 2 copies of the core set. Yes, I am that crazy. But that means that I have 6 copies of Lead from the Front. So I will definitely be including all 3 copies in Hercules and all 3 copies in Doctor Strange. And then I'm looking at putting Moxie in Hercules because I think that will help a lot. But yeah, like the whole plan is basically to make it so that Hercules can keep readying and just attacking with massive amounts of damage. Which, not necessarily needed that much damage. But it'll be fun anyway, just to see if it happens. And also just to say that I made magical enhancements useful. Since so few people ever seem to use it in yeah, like it's I think probably Doctor Strange's least played card. So yeah, it's when the round ends, discard magical enhancements. And it's like, I don't think it's a terrible card because it's just a 1-cost card, but yeah, there haven't been many heroes where adding +1 thwart, you know, adding +1 to all of the basic stats is that useful. But when you're talking a hero that wants to ready and attack multiple times in a turn, that's actually super useful. That's actually not terrible at all. So when you add that onto Hercules, and if you can ready him just a couple of times even during his turn, I mean that's 2 extra damage just off of that particular card. Or no, would that be, if you play it on him, he attacks, that's 1 extra damage, ready, attack, 1 extra damage, ready, 1. So that's 3 extra damage. But then like you combine it with everything else and he turns into this just massive beast. So I just thought it would be kind of a fun thing to do. We'll see how it goes. The most 4th of July appropriate matchup. Well, I think Captain America should absolutely be involved. Oh yeah, I should play some War Machine. War Machine is so great. When he initially came out, people were really down on him. They did not like the way that he built. But I always had a soft spot for War Machine. I actually really liked War Machine. I still like War Machine actually better than Iron Man. And I don't dislike Iron Man. I actually like Iron Man. I haven't played Iron Man in quite a while, but if I had to pick between Iron Man and War Machine, I'd pick War Machine. I could do another Falcon game, though I should probably try to do a whole bunch of different heroes that I haven't done. I was thinking that I should try to do, because I haven't played Spider-Ham hardly at all, so I was thinking maybe I could do a Spider-Ham game. But man, let's see, 4th of July appropriate matchup. I don't know, maybe Doctor Strange versus or not Doctor Strange, Captain America versus the Thunderbolts, maybe? I mean, that too. I mean, Captain America versus Red Skull is probably a good one. I'm gonna have to think about that one. We could do like Captain America and Winter Soldier versus Red Skull. I was also thinking of starting to go through all of the campaigns from like just in chronological order when they were released. So in release order. And just like play through, like two-handed play through the campaigns. Just release order, just kind of trying to do it somewhat thematically. For the Doctor Strange Hercules team up, I'm not quite sure exactly where that would fit in, but at least for the first one, I'm thinking for Red Skull, I'm thinking Captain America and Winter Soldier could be really fun and very thematic, since they both have a beef with Hydra. So there is that. Plus Captain America and Winter Soldier have probably one of the best, at least I think one of the best team-up cards in the game. And definitely worth including in both of their decks. So, I don't know, it's just about like putting together a decent deck for both of them that'll kind of work together. That is one thing I kind of need to work on doing, because I'm so used to building for solo that I tend to like, oh, this character is going to do all these things and this character is going to do all these things, but they rarely really help each other. So that's one thing I really need to work on with my deck building, is making decks that actually have some crossover, because I know some people are really good at that. I am not. I'm okay at building solo decks, not so good at building decks that are like have a lot of synergy between them. But anyway, I should probably get going, since I gotta do all my stuff before I go to sleep, because I got one more day at work, one more day. Oh, I can't wait till this day is over. I'm gonna be so happy when tomorrow is over, because then it'll be the weekend. Oh, it's gonna be so nice, and a holiday weekend at that. Yay. Alright. Well, anyway, I hope you guys have a good week and a good holiday if you're in the U.S. If you're not in the U.S., feel free to celebrate anyway. I mean, why not? But anyway, I will be back next Wednesday. I'm not sure what I will be playing. Possibly War Machine. War Machine sounds fun. As for what I would be playing against, I have no idea. But I'll see if I can put together a War Machine deck and figure out an interesting matchup to put War Machine against. Because War Machine really is a lot of fun. He's very different from Iron Man. Very different from Ironheart, and that's another one I should probably also play because I have not played Ironheart hardly at all. But yeah, like the three suits that all have something to do with Tony Stark, and they're so different. All three of them are so different from each other. So yeah, maybe I'll do my thematic 4th of July Captain America versus Red Skull matchup, and then also put something together for War Machine for next week. But anyway, so I hope you guys have a good one, and here's hoping that